Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama,
Rama Rama Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Bo, Nitai Gaur Hari Bo.
Gora Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitya Gora Hari Bo.
Jaya Jaya Jagannath, Baladev Subhadra.
Jaya Jagannath, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra.
Jaya Arnab Thakur, Jaya Acharya Thakur, Jaya Acharya Thakur, Jaya Acharya Thakur.
Vaishnav Thakur, Jaya Vaishnav Thakur.
Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada.
Jaya Gurudeva, Gurudeva, Srila Gurudeva.
Jaya Gurudeva, Jaya Gurudeva. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dhaya Kara More Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Dhaya Kara Tomabhina Kitayalu Jagat Samsare Tomabhina Kitayalu Jagat Samsare Patita Pavana Hetu Tavayavatara Patita Pavana Hetu Tavayavatara Mosama Patita Prabhu Napai Bhayara Patita Prabhu Napai Bhayara Ha ha Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Prabhu Nityananda Premananda Sukhi Kripa Bhalakana Kara Ami Bhadha Dhoki Kripa Bhalakana Kara Ami Bhadha Dhoki Daya Kara Sitapati Advaita Ghosha Daya Kara Tava Kripa Pale Pai Chaitanya Nitai Ha ha Swarup Sanatana Rupa Raghunata Bhattayugha Shri Jivaha Prabhu Loka Nata Yugha Shri Jivaha Prabhu Lokanata Daya Karo Shri Acharya Prabhu Srinivas Ramachandra Sangamaghe Narottama Das Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Daya Karo More Toma bhina ketayalu jagat samsare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Pancha Tattva Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva,
Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva, Jaya Panchatattva.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada,
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada.
Nitai Ghora Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Ghora Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol. Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtottara Shata Shrimati Divine Grace Shila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Paniyati Chiradai Mahamahotsava Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaura Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Panchakalpatarubhascha kripa sindhu bheva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. All glories to Lord Nityananda. All glories to Sri Advaita Acharya. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Hare Krishna, welcome. So today we're speaking of Panihati Chidadahi Mahotsav. Panihati is a place on the bank of the Ganges, north of Kolkata. From a material point of view, it looks like an insignificant place, but for the Gaudiya Vaishnavas, it's a very important place, where the Chidadahi Utsav took place. That's the festival of the chipped rice. So we saw today on the altar, we have nice preparations in nice pots, which the Matajis, the ladies, they painted nice clay pots. And in that you have Chidadahi, the chipped rice and yogurt. And this is the day where Nityananda Prabhu, who is the original guru, the Adi Guru, he accepted Raghunath Das Goswami. So it's a very special day. And basically it's a festival, like most of the festivals, they celebrate some kind, a lila, which the Lord manifests in this world. And I was thinking about this verse from the Damodarashtakam, Itti drik swalila bir ananda kunde, swagosham nimajantam akyapayantam, where it is said how Krishna, he performs his leelas, Itti drik swalila bir ananda kunde, swagosham nimajantam. So he drowns his Goshams, his devotee, in an Ananda Kunde, in a pool of bliss. And how does he do that? It's like in a movie, in a drama. In a movie there's drama, meaning it's not just going all very smooth, but usually there is some conflict, some problems. And similar in this pastime, we will hear how the Lord is performing that lila, churning the emotions, especially of Raghunath Das Goswami, to eventually submerge him in an ocean of bliss. Our spiritual master gave this example of like when a father, he throws the child in the air, and then there is a moment where the child feels like a little bit scared. But then when the father catches the child, it gives a lot of pleasure to both of them. So in a similar way, the Lord performs these pastimes, and sometimes it looks like the Lord is throwing the devotee out and maybe not catching him, but just to catch the devotee and actually giving that bliss. So I'd like to read one verse from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is in the Antya Lila, in the 6th chapter, where this chapter is entitled The Meeting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Raghunath Das Goswami. So we can see how much importance has been given to Raghunath Das Goswami, and especially this pastime, that the whole chapter is dedicated to that pastime. That's the first verse. I just read it myself, unless anyone wants to look it up on the phone. Kripa gunairya kugrihanda kupat udritya bhangya raghunatha dasam Nyasya sarupe vidadhen nitar angam Sri Krishna Chaitanya mamum prabhatye. Translation: with the ropes of his causeless mercy, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu employed a trick to deliver Raghunath Das Goswami from the blind well of contemptible family life. He made Raghunath Das Goswami one of his personal associates, placing him under the charge of Swarup Damodar Goswami. I offer my obeisances unto him. So this is a nice prayer. We can offer our obeisances to Raghunath Das Goswami today. Antya 6:1. I guess most of you know Raghunath Das Goswami, maybe except for our guests. To give a brief background about what we are talking. So the Chaitanya Charitamrita is a book compiled in Bengali language, and it gives the biography of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who appeared in 1486 in Bengal. And it gives his whole life, all his activities, and also his teachings. And Raghunath Das Goswami was a very intimate follower of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Raghunath Das Goswami is one of the 6 Goswamis. The 6 Goswamis are considered, in our line, the closest, the most important disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And interestingly, out of all the 6 Goswamis, Raghunath Das was the first one to meet Mahaprabhu. It's nice to put things in a historical frame. It gives us some understanding what we are dealing with. So Mahaprabhu, he took birth. He appeared in 1486, and in the age of 24, he took sannyas. So that was in 1510. He took sannyas in Katwa, close to his home place, Navadvip. And after taking sannyas, where did he go to? Anyone remembers? Where did Mahaprabhu go? after he took sannyas. He had a small stop before. Shantipur, yeah. Shantipur, yeah. The home of Advaita Acharya. And that's where Raghunath Das Goswami first met Mahaprabhu. And anyone knows how old he was, Raghunath Das? He was 15 years old, they say. So he was born around 1495, and 1510 they met. And Raghunath Das Goswami was not an ordinary person, either in the spiritual sense, as we will hear, but even in a material sense. He took birth in a very rich family, very aristocratic family. And in order to understand what kind of background he's coming from, I just want to mention a few things. So first of all, he was very fortunate. He took birth in a Vaishnava family. His name was Govardhan, which shows must be a Vaishnava. And his family, not only his father, but also his uncle's side, they were very wealthy landlords. So they used, in India, still now you have landlords, they would possess a huge amount of land, and they would rent it out to other people. And in this way, they were like kings. Like a king who is the owner of a certain tract of land, the landlord also, he is like a king. And what I heard in lectures is that the annual income of the father of, or maybe the whole family, was 2 million gold coins. And if you would convert that into our currencies today, that would be, we are speaking about multi-billionaires. So not millionaires, but multi-billionaires, really wealthy people. And Raghunath Das Goswami took birth as a son, and he was the only son. So he was the only person who would inherit the whole property after. So you can imagine if this would happen to us, we would probably not be in here, we would be outside in the world, try to enjoy. But Raghunath Das Goswami was very fortunate. They lived in a place called Shabdagram. In Shabdagram, that 500 years ago, now in Bengal, Kolkata is the place, the biggest place. No, Devashri Radhika is from Kolkata. That's the capital. But back then, 500 years ago, Kolkata didn't exist the way it does today. That only came later on. So Shabdagram was the capital at that time. It was the place of trade. It was also at the bank of the Ganges, and they would live there. Today, Shabdagram, I've never been there. There's still a place where Raghunath Das Goswami was considered to live at that time, but it's a small place. At some point, due to historical reasons, the place kind of disintegrated in itself. So he grew up in Shabdagram, and he was, because he was grown up, he grew up in a Vaishnava family. He took initiation from a young age. His guru was called Yadunandan Acharya, who lived quite close by. And Yadunandan Acharya was a devotee of Mahaprabhu, so he was fortunate that from young age he got this association with the Gaura Bhakta, one who is imparting this Gaura Bhakti into his heart, this devotion for Mahaprabhu. And it's also mentioned that when he was young, I'm not sure, but I think Yadunandan Acharya took him to Haridas Thakur when he was even younger. And Haridas Thakur, also being a close associate of Mahaprabhu, he gave him a lot of inspiration in his spiritual life. So when he met Mahaprabhu with 15, he was 15, but when he saw Mahaprabhu, immediately he had this desire to always be with Mahaprabhu and just serve him. And anyone remembers what Mahaprabhu told him then? So he saw him in Shantipur, and Shantipur, just you can also have some geographical context. It's not too far from Shaptagram, so you could travel there now. It's like a day trip probably they made. And he would meet Mahaprabhu just after he took sannyas. So he would understand that Mahaprabhu, now as a sannyasi, he will just travel around and preach, and he will go to holy places. And Raghunath Goswami, he just wanted to be with him. What did Mahaprabhu tell him? Anyone remembers? Huh?
No,
Go home, yeah. Yes, he told him, go home. Not go home back to Godhead, but go home to your place, to your parents' place. And he mentioned some term which we probably all have heard. He told him, don't be a markata vairagi. Don't be a monkey renunciate. The monkey renunciate. Why monkey? Because the monkey doesn't have clothes, doesn't have a home, doesn't have a car, but he has more than a dozen of lady followers, and he will have the whole day, he will just enjoy sex life and eat and sleep. So it's not really that kind of renunciation which Mahaprabhu approved. So he was telling him, don't prematurely renounce externally, but you go home and you practice devotional service, you perform your duties, and internally you cultivate your devotion to the Lord. So Raghunath Goswami went home, but he was so desperate, he wanted to be with Mahaprabhu, that he tried to escape from home again and again and again. This is nicely described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, that Raghunath Goswami, he would escape from home with the intention of going to Puri and meeting Mahaprabhu. And his parents, they would send guards to find him and bring him back. And this would go on regularly. And at some point, the parents understood that he will just run away whenever he has the chance. They actually didn't leave him alone. They didn't give him any privacy, but they would always post some guards around him. So he's always surrounded by guards who would make sure that he cannot run away. It's nicely described that at one point, and this was the final time, we will hear later how Raghunath Goswami, he ran away. His mother told to his father, Govardhan, so the wife told to Govardhan that we have to tie him down with a chain. That was her proposal. This time when we catch him, we have to tie him down with a chain. And Govardhan gave, his reply was, Raghunath, he has more wealth than Lord Indra, and his wife is more beautiful than an Apsara. So if this cannot tie him down, how will an iron chain tie him down? It's not going to be possible. So Raghunath Goswami, he was living in this way, and the information I got, when he was around 19 years old, so 4 years later, when he met Mahaprabhu first, he got to know that Nityananda Prabhu is staying at Panihati, so that place where the festival takes place. And Nityananda Prabhu, he was living in that area. I haven't been, but there is a place which is considered the home of Nityananda, which is not too far from Panihati. And you've probably heard also the story that Nityananda Prabhu, he was in a way a sannyasi, but then Mahaprabhu gave him the instruction to go get married and stay in Bengal and preach. So the place he would stay was in that area of Panihati. And Nityananda Prabhu, being Balaram, he had many associates. The Gopas in Vrindavan, they came as his associates to assist him in Bengal to preach Krishna consciousness. So Raghunathas being in Shaptagram, which is, I think it's like a 2-hour journey also. Of course, that time you have to think, how would they travel? They would walk, or they would go maybe by some palanquin, or I don't know. They're rich, so maybe they're not walking. So I think it takes around 7 hours walking, which at that time, that's how people would travel. If they want to go to some place, in the morning they leave, and early morning, in the night, and they reach. And so Raghunathas, he came, and in Panihati there is a place, I forgot what kind of tree, it's a banyan tree. Anyone remembers? There is a tree, and under this tree was the sitting place of Nityananda Prabhu. And he was surrounded by his associates, and when Raghunath came, he offered his obeisances. And somebody noticed that Raghunath arrived, and he went to tell Nityananda Prabhu, you see this person offering obeisances there? That's Raghunath. And Nityananda Prabhu became very happy, and he told him, bring him. So they brought Raghunath to Nityananda. Nityananda started to chastise him. What did he say, Nityananda? What was it? Yeah, he's a thief. He told him, you're a thief. Which is in a way a little contradictory, because Raghunath was so wealthy, for him there was no need to steal anything. So why did he say he's a thief?
Because he wanted to have association with
He wanted to steal Mahaprabhu from Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu, that shows that Nityananda Prabhu, he possesses Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu belongs to Nityananda Prabhu. Otherwise, how could Nityananda Prabhu say, you're a thief? And he was referring to the fact that Raghunath was trying to attain Mahaprabhu again and again without consulting him. Nityananda Prabhu, he then told him, so now because you committed this crime, I have to punish you. And your punishment is that you feed all my devotees, including myself, with chipped rice and yogurt. And Raghunath, was he depressed or sad about this? No, he was very happy that he got this instruction. And he had money with him. So he immediately started to arrange to bring chipped rice and to bring yogurt. And it's described that there were 2 kinds of chipped rice. I came to the kitchen this morning, so I made a small comment. When I saw the strawberries being cut, I said, oh, strawberries, because they didn't have strawberries there. So there was one kind of chipped rice. They would soak the chipped rice in water, and then they would mix it with one kind was with yogurt and bananas and sugar, I think without sugar, and maybe I find the description. So don't want to say that it's not okay to put strawberries and what else did you put? But apart from that, what? Mangoes. So here it is said, in one place, chipped rice was soaked in hot milk in each of the large pots. Then half the rice was mixed with yogurt, sugar, and bananas. So that was one pot was yogurt, sugar, and bananas. The other half was mixed with condensed milk. Did you do that? No. And a special type of banana known as champa kala. Deoshi Radhika, you're from Bengal. You know what is this banana, champa kala.
There's one yellow banana, which is very ripe.
Oh, it's a ripe banana.
It has also seeds and stuff.
I think I know which. Then sugar, clarified butter, and camphor were added. So ghee, sugar, camphor, this banana, and condensed milk and chipped rice. So for next year, where is the team? They should hear. No, it's fine. Because it's about, I don't think it's much about the detail here. It's about Nityananda Prabhu giving him the instruction to feed the devotees, to please the devotees. And one comment I heard from our devotees is that it's also interesting that he told him to use chipped rice, because chipped rice, apparently in India, actually Radhanath Maharaj, I heard him speaking, he was saying that when he was a beggar in India, we all know his story, how he was traveling as a monk, as a sadhu, he would beg from people. And he said 80% of the people, they wouldn't actually give anything. And then the other 20%, most of them would give chipped rice, because that was like the most cheap food everybody can afford to give. And the chipped rice is also good, of course, because you can keep it for a long time. So it's something sadhus can keep with them. So Raghunathas, he was so wealthy, he could have brought anything, but he told him to bring chipped rice, which is a very simple food. And then Raghunath and his servants, they started to serve Nityananda Prabhu and all his associates. But not only his associates would want to accept that prasad, but even regular people started to joining. And it's described that people came, it spread like wildfire, and people came from all over the place. And thousands of people came, so many that there was no space on the land, but they would take place, they would situate themselves, position themselves in the Ganges water, half submerged, and it said every person got 2 pots. One was the yogurt, chida, chipped rice, and one was the condensed milk. So everybody got 2 pots, and then they would accept. And there is a beautiful description in the Chaitanya Charitamrita how at some point this festival became very transcendental. I'll just read a little bit to you. Oh yeah, that's nice. Let me just read a little bit, because it will definitely, we'll go a little longer because we had 50-minute delay. So we'll go till 45. Hope that's okay. So here it described how this festival is going on, and then here it says, at that time Raghava Pandit arrived there. Seeing the situation, he began to laugh in great surprise. Raghav Pandit, also if you go to Panihati, there is an ISKCON temple now in Panihati, and not far from the temple is Raghav, I forgot the name, it's Raghav Pandit's home. So that place is also still there. And Raghav Pandit, anyone remembers him, he is a very, very famous associate of Mahaprabhu. Why? What's the special feature about Raghav Pandit? Mahaprabhu, that's one place, Raghav Pandit's house is one place where Mahaprabhu resides eternally, because he would always accept his food. Raghav Pandit is a very good cook. Raghav Pandit is, if I remember correctly, Dhanishta Gopi in Braj Lila, and we know Dhanishta is very much connected to the prasadam pastimes of Krishna. So Raghav Pandit, he arrived on the spot and he began to laugh. He brought many kinds of food cooked in ghee and offered to the Lord Nityananda. This prasadam he first placed before Lord Nityananda and then distributed among the devotees. Raghav Pandit said to Lord Nityananda, For you, sir, I have already offered food to the deity, but you are engaged in a festival here, and so the food is lying there untouched. Lord Nityananda replied, let me eat all this food here during the day, and I shall eat at your home at night. I belong to a community of cowherd boys, and therefore I generally have many cowherd associates with me. I am happy when we eat together in a picnic like this by the sandy bank of the river. So that's the very deep significance of this Panihati festival. Jai, Hare Krishna. It's manifesting one of the pastimes of Vrindavan Leela, how Krishna, Balaram and the Gopas, they take lunch at the Jamuna. And it's described here at some point that in their consciousness they saw Vrindavan and Jamuna river, and it was the whole Vrindavan pastime manifested. Lord Nityananda made Raghav Pandit sit down and had 2 pots delivered to him also. There were 2 kinds of chipped rice soaked in them. When chipped rice had been served to everyone, Lord Nityananda Prabhu in meditation brought Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is the mystical part of everything is mystical, but this is the most mystical part. When Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu arrived, Lord Nityananda Prabhu stood up. They then saw how the others were enjoying the chipped rice with yogurt and condensed milk. From each and every pot, Lord Nityananda Prabhu took 1 morsel of chipped rice and pushed it into the mouth of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a joke. Like in Vrindavan, the Gopas, Krishna, Balaram, there is no consideration of, you are God and I have to serve you. No, it's completely intimate. They forget that Krishna is God. And so they would push their own food into his mouth, and very intimately, like friends. So that pastime is showing here. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, also smiling, took a morsel of food, pushed it into the mouth of Nityananda, and laughed as he made Lord Nityananda eat it. In this way, Lord Nityananda was walking through all the groups of eaters, and all the Vaishnavas standing there were seeing the fun. No one could understand what Nityananda Prabhu was doing as he walked about. Some, however, who were very fortunate could see that Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was also present. So some they couldn't see Mahaprabhu, and it looked probably quite strange because he was interacting with someone they couldn't see, but others could see that Mahaprabhu is there. Then Nityananda Prabhu smiled and sat down. On his right side he kept 4 pots of chipped rice that had not been made from boiled paddy. Lord Nityananda offered Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu a place and had him sit down. Then together the 2 brothers began eating chipped rice. Seeing Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu eating with him, Lord Nityananda Prabhu became very happy and exhibited varieties of ecstatic love. So in this way that festival is going on. Same chapter, 6th chapter. Here, that's what I meant. All the confidential devotees who were cowherd boys headed by Sri Ramdas were absorbed in ecstatic love. They thought the bank of the Ganges to be the bank of the Jamuna. So I'll just speed a little bit forward. So that festival took place, and after that festival, as you heard, Nityananda Prabhu, he promised to Raghav Pandit that he will go and accept prasadam at his home. And the devotees, the confidential devotees, went to Raghav Pandit, and Raghav Pandit started to serve Nityananda Prabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu told Raghunath Das to also sit down and take prasadam. And Raghav Pandit told Nityananda Prabhu, no, he will not. He will take later. And you would think like, oh, he had the opportunity to take prasadam together with Nityananda Prabhu. Like, maybe we have this experience that we get the opportunity to take prasadam with our Guru Maharaj, oh, it would be nice. But the Raghav Pandit was so merciful that he had another plan, that he didn't want Raghunath to take prasadam then, but he waited until Nityananda and Mahaprabhu, who appeared again, they took prasadam, and then he gave the Mahaprasadam to Raghunath. That was his mercy, Everybody was so pleased with Raghunath organizing that festival that he received the Mahaprasad, direct Mahaprasad from Gaur-Nitai. And then Raghav Pandit and Raghunath Das, they exchanged, and Raghav Pandit took him to Nityananda again later on, and he gave him a gentle push to approach him and ask him for blessing. And he went to Nityananda Prabhu, and Nityananda Prabhu, he put his feet on Raghunatha's head directly like this. And he blessed him. Let us read that. It's beautiful. I'm sorry, I should have noted things down, but I didn't do it. Yeah. But by Nityananda's mercy, the verse just shows. My dear Raghunath Das, he said, since you arranged the feast on the bank of the Ganges, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here just to show you his mercy. He just came to show you his mercy. There's many devotees, but he just came to show you his mercy. By his causeless mercy, he ate the chipped rice and milk. Then, after seeing the dancing of the devotees at night, he took his supper at Raghav Pandit's place. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Gaura Hari came here personally to deliver you. Now, rest assured that all the impediments meant for your bondage are gone. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will accept you and place you under the charge of his secretary, Swarup Damodar. You will thus become one of the most confidential internal servants and will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Being assured of all this, return to your home. Very soon, without impediments, you will attain shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that was Raghunath Das Goswami's desire. He didn't come to ask Nityananda Prabhu for blessings to get another beautiful wife or to get more wealth, but he wanted to attain the shelter of Mahaprabhu. And Nityananda Prabhu, being the proprietor of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he gave him that blessing. But he told him, you go home again. So Raghunath, he went back home to Shaptagram. And very soon after that, at night, his guru, Yadunandan Acharya, came to visit him. And it was very late at night, and all the guards, they were sleeping. And Yadunandan Acharya asked Raghunath for help. And when I read this pastime, I was thinking of our situation in the deity worship department, because Yadunandan Acharya, he asked him he had a difficulty with the worship in the temple. The Pujari basically didn't come to do his service anymore. And Raghunath, being influential, there was a chance that he could tell this Pujari to continue with his service. So I was thinking that the problems we are facing, they're bona fide. They go back a long time to have sufficient pujaris. And Raghunath immediately understood that is an opportunity. So he went out in the night and he just started to run. From Shaptagram, he started to run to Jagannath Puri. How far? 510 kilometers according to Google Maps. And it's said in this chapter that he would run around 30 kilometers every day. We've been on Braj Mandal Parikrama. 20 is a good day. 30 is a really good day. We never did a 30-kilometer walk. So he ran and walked a long time, and he would just lay down somewhere. And it's also mentioned that he was traveling for 12 days. I did the calculation, it didn't quite work out. 12 multiplied by 30 comes to 360. So maybe some days he did even more. You can do more in the Swiss army if you go into the special force. Then you do a 50-kilometer march in a day. So Raghunath, being so ecstatic, probably did more than 50 sometimes. So in 12 days he arrived, and it is said that he only had prasadam on 3 days, and that only very minimal. His father, Govardhan, waking up in the morning, realizing, again it happened, Raghunath escaped. He sent his men to capture him, and they came to a group of devotees headed by Shivananda Sen, who we know that also Shivananda Sen, he was the leader of all the Bengal devotees, going to Puri each year at the beginning of Chaturmas, and they came to Shivananda Sen and asked, where is Raghunath? And Shivananda Sen didn't know because he took a different route. And then Raghunath Das Goswami arrives in Puri, and it is a very beautiful description how Mahaprabhu receives him, all the devotees receive him, and let's read a little bit. Is it okay? It's 41 on my clock. Just 1 second. Here. When Raghunath Das met Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord was sitting with his companions, headed by Swarup Damodar. Staying at a distant place in the courtyard, he fell down to offer obeisances. Then Mukunda Datta said, "Here is Raghunath." As soon as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu heard these words, he immediately welcomed Raghunath Das. "Come here," he said. Raghunath Das then clasped the lotus feet of the Lord, but the Lord stood up and embraced him out of his causeless mercy. Raghunath Das offered prayers at the lotus feet of all the devotees, headed by Swarup Damodar Goswami. Seeing the special mercy Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had bestowed upon Raghunath Das, they embraced him also. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "The mercy of Lord Krishna is stronger than anything else. Therefore the Lord has delivered you from the ditch of materialistic life, which is like a hole into which people pass stool." So that's how he called his situation. How would he call our situation? He had a very good situation, but he compared it to a hole where people pass stool. Raghunath Das answered within his mind, "I do not know who Krishna is. I simply know that your mercy, O my Lord, has saved me from my family life." The Lord continued, "Your father and his elder brother are both related as brothers to my grandfather, Nilambar Chakravarti. Therefore I consider them my grandfathers." I just skip a few verses here. So Raghunath Das Goswami's family members, they're all Vaishnavas. And now listen to this. "My dear Raghunath Das," Mahaprabhu is telling him now, "My dear Raghunath Das, your father and his elder brother are just like worms in stool in the ditch of material enjoyment. For the great disease of the poison of material enjoyment is what they consider happiness. Although your father and uncle are charitable to Brahmanas and greatly help them, they are nevertheless not pure Vaishnavas. However, they are almost like Vaishnavas. I just read a little bit of Prabhupada's purport. As stated by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, some people, usually very rich men, dress like Vaishnavas and give charity to Brahmanas. The pure Vaishnava has no desire for material enjoyment. That is the basic qualification of a pure Vaishnava. There are men, especially rich men, who regularly worship the deity, give charity to Brahmanas, and are pious in every respect, but they cannot be pure Vaishnavas. Despite their outward show of Vaishnavism and charity, their inner desire is to enjoy a higher standard of material life. Raghunath Das's father, Govardhan, and uncle, Hiranya Das, were both very charitable to Brahmanas. Indeed, the Brahmanas from the Gaudiya district were practically dependent upon them. Thus they were accepted as very pious gentlemen. However, they presented themselves as Vaishnavas to the eyes of people in general, although from a purely spiritual point of view, they were ordinary human beings, not pure Vaishnavas. Actual Vaishnavas considered them almost Vaishnavas, not pure Vaishnavas. In other words, they were Kanishtadikaris, for they were ignorant of higher Vaishnava regulative principles. Nevertheless, they could not be called Vishayas or blind materialistic enjoyers. There's different kinds of Vaishnavas, and Mahaprabhu is trying to make us a pure devotee. And if somebody is ready, he will also not shy away of pointing out that a Kanishtadikari is not a Vaishnava. It's not really a Vaishnava. Like Prabhupada says, actual Vaishnavas consider them almost Vaishnavas, not pure Vaishnavas. So that's a lesson for us also. We shouldn't think we are Vaishnavas. We are far away from the standard of devotion Raghunath Das Goswami's family has exhibited. And then, you know the story, Raghunath Das Goswami, he took residence in Puri and he became very renounced. I'm not going to tell that story. You can read it if you like. Just a few things we can take out from this pastime. Of course, the major pastime is Nityananda is the proprietor of Mahaprabhu, which means for us, the spiritual master is the one who can connect us with Krishna. We cannot jump directly to Krishna. We have to take shelter, surrender to a spiritual master, and he can give us Krishna. Another thing which stands out is that Raghunath Das, he got a lot of mercy from devotees. Yadunandanacharya, Haridas Thakur, Raghav Pandit, and even in the end, he attained Mahaprabhu's shelter. But what did Mahaprabhu do? He put him under the shelter of Swarup Damodar. So that means to be under the shelter of Mahaprabhu, to be under the shelter of his devotees. We don't aspire to be the direct servant of Krishna. We aspire to be the servant of the servant of the servant of Krishna. And for those of us who have already accepted the spiritual master, this is a nice day to remember the mercy of our spiritual master, that he has accepted us. We can maybe remember how he accepted us. It's a moving thing in our life. At least I remember when my spiritual master officially accepted me, and we can deepen the connection with him. So thank you for your attention. Jai Panihati Chidadahi Mahotsava ki Jai. Srila Raghunath Das Goswami ki Jai. Shri Gaur Nitai ki Jai. Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Mai ki Jai. So those who like can go. And if anyone wants to add something or ask a question, we have some time. I'm looking to Yamuna because he always has a question. Yes.
In the beginning, you told about drama, that drama is always should be and take place.
Hmm.
Could you explain why?
Sorry?
Could you say a few words why?
Why?
Why drama comes into pastimes all the time, and why drama should be?
Yeah, it's like when we go to the movies. I mean, think about it. People, they go to watch movies, they pay money, and what do they see? They see things which give them emotions of fear. Like often the movies we see, there is a lot of violence, so it gives them fear, or there is pain because there is separation between couples. Of course, there is also joy. But why? Because we hanker for emotional experience, rasa. And like in the mundane sphere, the movies, as an example, or dramas, they bring out the emotions. If I go to the movies, it's not that I'm directly participating, but the emotions come anyway. We cry in a movie, or we feel tense, or we feel joy. And so when we actually listen the Leela of Krishna, we experience the same emotions. The more we dive into the Leelas, the more we can experience. Like if you see a movie, it can bring you to the point of you actually have physical, the emotions manifest physically, you cry. In a similar way, if we get access to the Leelas, we also experience these emotions. So that's what life is about, to experience the loving exchange. And Krishna makes dramas like no one else. Like sometimes, you hear these pastimes, you just think no ordinary human being could come up with this kind of story. It's just so far out. And that's, Krishna is the supreme regisseur, how you say it? Director. He is the supreme. He can do it in the best possible way. Does it answer your question?
So he also enjoys drama?
Of course, yeah. Yes.
Hi Krishna, thank you so much for this narration. When you were reading the verses where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that his family is in a very pitiful situation, although we see they're actually living a perfect life. They're very wealthy, they're Krishna conscious, there's nothing more to do. So what is it actually that we have to try to aspire to do, not to be in this situation that we usually do in this situation?
Well, first we have to take lesson number 1, which Raghunath got, that we should not practice improper renunciation. We shouldn't make an external show, but we have to cultivate it internally, like he did. That's another thing. Raghunath Das, he was ready from the very beginning. But he's teaching us through Raghunath Das Goswami that we shouldn't jump ahead prematurely, but we should cultivate the renunciation internally, and then that's more important. And we should be honest and where we stand. So the way I understand it here, there's different types of devotees, and Krishna treats them in a different way. Yeya tamam prabhadyante tang sateva bhajamyaham. So he will say this to Raghunath Das Goswami because that's meant for him. But maybe for someone else this would be the wrong thing to say. Probably for us it would be opposite. It will be nice if we come to the stage of Raghunath Das Goswami's family members. So the point is anusaran and not anukaran. We have to follow in the footsteps, but not imitate. And the good thing is if we listen these pastimes and we look at our own situation, it makes us humble because we know that we are far away from that kind of devotion, that surrender, one-pointed surrender. You give up all your wealth. Nadanamna Janamna Sundarim. That's Raghunath Das, he's embodying that verse. Nadanamna Janamna Sundarim. He didn't want his wife, she was Sundari, very beautiful. He didn't want the Danam and Janam, all his servants. In Puri, at some point, he still had servants around him who would give him money, and at some point he realized that this is Maya, and he sent them home. Okay. Hare Krishna. So let's end here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Grantaraj Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Raghunath Das Goswami ki jai. Chidadahi ki jai.